Greetings fellow Decepticons, Soundblaster1987 here, continuing my Cybertron Optimus review with Cybertron Ultra Class Winged Saber. Another reshoot of the last video I'm afraid, but don't worry, we're soon towards the end of those. So as you can see, Winged Saber here is an A10 Thunderbolt 2, very similar to G1 Power Glide, except mostly white with a few red bits here and there. Just a quick 360 view. For size comparison in vehicle mode, here's the cab section only of Cybertron Optimus. So, as you can see, Winged Saber's got a couple of missile launchers here. I'm not firing them off properly on camera because, like TJ Omega says, missiles, when you fire them off on camera and don't watch what you're doing, they often tend to disappear. So, you know, when you've got your own copy of this figure, be careful where you're looking for missiles. Also, borrowing Universe Vector Prime's key again, the cyber key gimmick of the cockpit is like so. Put the key in and if it's not resisting you, the cockpit springs open into a massive grey cannon. This button up top here would show off lights and sounds, but I don't think there are batteries in my copy at the moment, so you'll have to watch another review to see that properly. So to transform Winged Saber, first unfold these bits here. Take this little slider tab and slide the barrels out of the way to make 5 fingers, one of which being shorter than the others to become a thumb. Same on both sides, fold down, slide the tab to make the proper hand shape. Then disconnect the engines like so, fold this piece back. Straighten out the ratchets in the engines to become the legs. Flip down the foot. Same on both sides. Double hinge the cockpit canopy back like so. Bring the hips forward and rotate the waist 180 degrees so that the legs are oriented correctly. Snap the waist section back into place. Bring up the head like so. And rotate it 180 degrees when locked into place to face it forward. And here we have Winged Saber in robot mode. Now, for those who don't know, Winged Saber was originally called Winged Dagger in Transformers Energon until he was near fatally injured pursuing the Decepticons' shock blast who had escaped from prison. Later rebuilt into Winged Saber, he was able to combine with Optimus Prime. With Cybertron being a sequel to Energon in the Unicron Trilogy anime series, the same can be assumed here that Winged Saber was in fact meant to be the same character from Energon just a few years later with a new alt mode. Hence why he can still combine with Optimus Prime. We'll get to that in a moment. So, for articulation, we got a neck swivel, and he can technically look up a bit for transformation due to the way that the panel works behind his head. Arms can go upwards like that, outward ratchets, bicep swivel, double elbow for transformation. These bits of the wings here can fold outwards as well for sonic wing mode combination transformation, which we'll get to. Waist swivel for transformation, somewhat hindered by the backpack. Universal ratcheted hips, thigh swivels, and a 90-degree ratcheted knee bend. Also the turbines intakes from the ends of the engines can be hinged back and forth a little bit as the kneecaps. Nothing at the feet aside from a transformation hinge. The Cyber Key gimmick still works here as well. So, come to behind the head and lift up this little grey bracket thing. Then bring the cockpit canopy up, and these two little tabs here will attach to the bracket to keep it in place like so. Not the easiest thing to reposition, but the tabs on the bracket are at an angle so as to specifically allow this to work properly. Also, there are two mini-com pegs on the cockpit canopy here, and I forgot to mention about the front landing gear as well, which has a rolling wheel. So, grab the key again, put it in, and now it's a gigantic over-the-shoulder cannon and he has to lean forward to fire straight. Kind of reminds me of animated Blitzwing's fire and ice cannons from the cartoon and how they could bend forward more than they could on the toy, but you'll see more about that in my animated Blitzwing review, which I'll be linked in the description. Now for size comparison. And here we have Wing Saber with Cybertron Optimus Prime in his base robot mode. Now, before I move on to the Sonic Wing mode combination, I should point out that, in my Optimus review last week, I forgot to mention that he has an opening matrix cavity. Just a sec while I reorient Wing Saber's balance here. So, open the chest. You might want to dislocate the shoulders first to get them out of the way. So, get in there properly. Then, this grey piece can be a bit tricky, so I find it's easier to bring the waist plate up and then down again to make this come down. Then the matrix can be removed if you've got long nails and thin fingers. Like so. But to combine them into Sonic Wing mode Optimus Prime, first, attach these blue pieces to Prime's legs like in Super Mode. That's the only part of the Super Mode design you'll need for this combination. So, first one side, then the other. This can be a bit tricky to line up properly because of the different types of pegs, clips and slots required for the combination. So, once Prime's new big boots are sorted out, transform Wing Saber back into vehicle mode. Luckily, the Cybertron cartoon has very toy-accurate transformation stock footage, so it's easy to figure out how to transform most of the toys by watching the show if you haven't got the instructions available to hand. Apparently Optimus Prime and Wing Saber in the cartoon first discovered their Sonic Wing mode combination during a mission on the planet Char that went wrong. Char was the name of the planet that the Decepticons were hiding on in the G1 cartoon in Season 3, after the events of the movie had kicked them off Cybertron. So, to initiate the combination between Optimus Prime and Wing Saber, first, extend these additional parts for wings. Oops, make sure not to pop them off because they're very unstable on these droids that are not pinned in properly. Remove these Z-shaped missile launchers here and put those off to one side for a second. Then these can be now attached to the backs of Optimus Prime's super mode feet using these pegs here. So as to provide a slightly larger footprint with the backwards pointing part. Because of the spring-loaded suspension on the wheels on Prime's feet, it's not easy to balance him in this configuration, so bear with me. Next, activate Prime's super mode face by flipping up the ears and the mouth plate again, trying to hold the head in place so as to stop it from going back in on itself. Now with Wing Saber fully transformed into vehicle mode, put the cockpit canopy into Cyber weapon configuration again, balanced on this grey bracket. Like so. Then extend Wing Saber's chest piece all the way open, like so. Extend Wing Saber's arms and stick them forward like shoulder-mounted Gatling cannons. Then this big yellow chunk tab here will go underneath the lever for Optimus Prime's head to keep it in position. While these blocks here attach to his back here. This means you can't use Leo Breaker and Wing Saber at the same time for combination because of the way Wing Saber is designed. So, apologies for those who want to have a Savage Claw mode, Sonic Wing mode 2-in-1 combination. Then, collapse Wing Saber's chest plate over Optimus Prime's chest, like so. Split it open, and make sure that the Cyber weapon is in full place, like so. Finally, remove the lower section of Wing Saber's wings. And take these black bits from underneath the rear section out as well. Long nails recommended for this job. Then connect the two together to become swords, hence the name Wing Saber. These swords can be held in Optimus Prime's hands with the hole in the palm that was shown off with his handgun in the Optimus review. And here we have Optimus Prime in Sonic Wing mode configuration. For size comparison, here he is with the Samurai Gigazord from Power Rangers Super Samurai. Very impressive, both of them, but still way out of scale. Both Prime and Wing Saber still have the ability to use their articulation somewhat in this mode, though due to back heaviness and whatnot it is somewhat hampered. So, that concludes my Cybertron Optimus and Wing Saber review. Because I got Optimus Prime at TF Nation 2019, Wing Saber's review will be on the TF Nation playlist as well. The same applies to my Energon Shock Blast review, since I got him autographed by Brian Drummond at the convention. So, that concludes my review. Join me next time when I review Movie Masterpiece Series NPM 08, Movie 1, Megatron. Till then, till all are one.